So the first thing I'm gonna say is that I'm not really caring for what the system is doing right now. Never really cared because I always feel like it's a scheme or they up to no good. I've had I've had plenty of dreams about weirdo stuff, like, so there's nothing new for me to dream about stuff that is abnormal, you know. I done had a couple of dreams about aliens and spaceships and shit. So that ain't nothing really new. Last night, okay, I'm gonna just tell y'all. I normally sleep with my headphones. I like, I pass out with them. It keeps me from, I don't know, it just keeps me from dreaming certain things. But last night, I got tired of hitting the skip button and I was sleepy. So I went ahead and took my headphones off. And to be honest with you, I really don't sleep in the pure darkness. I don't know if I'm afraid of the dark. My daughter says I'm afraid of the dark. But I don't know. I just need a little bit of light. But for some reason, I even got up and cut my closet light off. And I can say throughout the night, and I'm still hearing it now. That's what I'm listening for. Because it's like the sky is crying or something. I understand what it sounds when the wind blows, but the wind is blowing. But it's a different type of sound that's coming in with this wind. I don't know. It's almost like it's a sadness. And it feels like as if I don't know, it's as if the sky is crying or moaning or something. Weeping. I'm going to say it more like that, more of a weep. It doesn't sound like a whistle. You know how the wind are blowing it, you hear the whistle of the wind. It don't sound like that at all. It should sound weird, yo. It sounds like it's alive. You know what I'm saying? Like, But the dream I had, I actually woke up around like 8 something this morning from this dream. And I laid here because I was disturbed. And I really was thinking about jumping on then because I was like, I didn't want to forget it. You know how you can let it go and then you will forget about the shit. Like everything don't be clear as it was. So I laid there. I laid here and was like, to be honest, I don't even remember if I got up. I don't think I even got up. I had to pee and I don't even think I got up to do that. I laid here and was like, damn, I don't know if I need to say anything. I really didn't feel like getting up to get prepared for, I really ain't get prepared. I just took my do-rag off and went on, but so I ain't even washed my face. I still got on eyeliner and shit from last night. So my bad, because fuck it, I ain't trying to be all, fuck all that, but I didn't know if it was something to be trying to put up, but I said any dream that I have, I'm going to speak about it. That's the promise that I made. And I've been putting any dreams that I've had lately that has nothing to do with my immediate family, I speak on it. Now, my immediate family was in this dream, but the shit that I saw what is this? Now, I know that they got a war going on. I ain't even trying to get into that. That's over there. Whatever they doing is their business. And I know that it's going to reflect on us in so many ways. I get it. But this shit what I dreamt, it was a war here. What I dreamt, we were over here fighting on this land, in this soil. And it was a real ass war. And we didn't know how to handle that because we wasn't used to that. Shit was being destroyed left and right. But one thing I noticed, I looked up, and this wasn't just from up, because from what I noticed, shit was coming from out the ground, shit was coming from out the water, and shit was coming from out the sky. So it's up and it's down. It's above, it's below. So when somebody say, I know I'm finna speak about some little UFO shit, I get it. But all these motherfuckers ain't from the sky, period. I don't care what nobody say. I don't really dig into stuff like that. I am big on conspiracies. I'm about that life. But I don't go looking for it. If I run across it, okay, maybe I'll look. But I honestly, man, and the last thing I watched that was a movie was Saw last night. It ain't had shit to do with this. Totally different energy. And plus, I got respect for dude, what I'm saying? Like, I thought I was going to be scared, but I was a little bit, grossed out, but I wasn't afraid. And I got respect for that man for what he do, because I actually don't watch Saws, because I stopped on 3 because it was too much for me. I'm a paranormal person, not that type when it come down to and do all of this, but so I really didn't understand his, motives. And I gotta check out the other ones now. I stopped at 3. That was 10 that I watched, so now I gotta fill it in. But back to the real shit. So I took my headphones off and went to sleep, man. I like I say, it was a war in the States. And to be honest with you, it seemed like it was a war amongst us. It was like fighting amongst each other, because I really didn't see. I'm shaking. Sorry. I really didn't see military. I'm gonna say it like that. I don't know if it was just people against people or what really happened. But it was a war, and it did seem militant, but I didn't see uniforms. What I did see, okay, the sky had a auburn color to it, a dirty, rusty color to it, almost like the sun was setting all the fucking time. Almost like how they say the sky was messed up and, but I didn't ever see that color. But the sky was definitely had a sunset look to it. And while everybody was, and people was getting prepared for something, because there was some buildings that was for safety or where people could go for protection. Almost like, I don't know, like these big ass buildings that had like medical treatment, and almost, I guess, like FEMA. I guess, I don't really get into none of that either, but that's the first thing that I can think of when it come down to it, like FEMA involvements. So this shit crazy, y'all. So while I was looking in the sky, I don't know if people know, because I don't know the name of it, but I can describe it the best way that I can. And the first thing I can think about is like Chinese houses. Like the little Chinese house that be on like a bottle of soy sauce, or I don't know if nobody know what I'm talking about. I really wish I knew what this was, but it's like a Chinese house, or it's a house that would be in Japan. Like they got the layers and a little point to it, and hopefully y'all know what I'm talking about. But the Chinese house, it was like a, but it didn't look quite like a Chinese house. It was shaped like that. This motherfucker was floating around in the sky, yo. And when I say it didn't have the pointed look to it, like the tip of it and the corners pointed up, and but it was still layered the same, and it still had it looked like a house, like a Chinese house, but it was not. It was a fucking big mothership or something. Like a, maybe they made it, hell, I don't know. This is just a dream. But this motherfucker was floating around, and it was like everybody was in such chaos. It was like nobody looked up to see it, because it was like, when I say it was shooting, it was bombing, it was the shit getting destroyed. Nobody had a reason to look up because nothing was coming from up. You know what I'm saying? This shit was like right in front of us, like shit was going to pieces in front of us, man. But it seemed like it was a war amongst each other, yo, more than so somebody else. I really don't know who was fighting, but I know that it was a bunch of fucking chaos with it. And so while this stuff, this commotion is going on, I look up, and this is, I just thought about that movie, Don't Look Up. That's a hell of a movie. I done watched it like 4 or 5 times. So if y'all ain't seen that movie, it's probably a good idea to watch it, because I don't know. I don't think it is significant with this, but I just know that nobody was looking the fuck up. Everybody, because whatever it was like concentration was right at eye level. It was on the ground, so shit, everybody was focused on that. It was a lot of medical stuff going on too, though. And so I looked up, and I seen this shit crazy. I looked up and I seen like this building thing that was floating, and I'm like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all don't see this? Like, everybody looking at this shit, nobody is looking at this. Like, what is that? But it would blink out and in, almost like it was like visible, then it was invisible, then it was visible. And keep in mind, like I say, the sky had this rusty look to it. It did get dark. The sky did change to nighttime, but when it was daytime, it didn't look like the regular daytime. It looked like the rusty red color, brownish, dirty color. All right, so all of a sudden, I'll call it a mothership. The reason why I say that is because I started recognizing other ships that was like behind the clouds. That this is the first part. They were behind the clouds, and it was like, but they were glowing. You can, like, they were you can see them moving within the clouds, because they had it's kind of like I say, the sky had a rusty look to it. So it made, when they lit up, it made it look like an orange, like an orange light. You know what I'm saying? So you would see it. You would see these little, I would say, spaceships or UFOs, unidentified flying object, that was like, they were moving through the clouds, and they were moving in such a way to where, one minute, you like, if you spot it, you spot it, but if you don't, you don't, because that shit was like a blink of an eye. I do not know how to snap with my right. Let me switch hands. I still, fuck it. Anyway, so all of us, like, it was like they were moving around, like they were watching what was going on, yo. Like, as if they were watching the people destroy each other. And then once, by the time, it was kind of like by the time the people started realizing like what, to where they started looking up, they were zoomed in on them. It was kind of like by the time they actually looked at them and realized that they were there, it was too late, because they were already kind of zoomed in, like arrowed in on the people. And shit, they started firing off. So real shit was getting destroyed then. And it wasn't just from that point. It started with the sky, like they was coming from the sky, but then I started seeing cracks in the ground open up. It was coming out the ground. It was areas that I wasn't even around. And a dream can do a lot. You can do a lot in a dream, whether you can control it or not. But it was areas that like were around oceans and waters, lakes and shit, that I wasn't even around, and I saw these things rising up out of this. And shit. It's like they had a sensor on them, to where people moved, like motion sensor or something. So it was almost like if you run, you're gonna get hit. If you make yourself visible to the point to where you are in motion, you're gonna get hit. They had a Now this part right here is it may be relevant, because like this is the personal part of it to me, because my daughter was in it. I didn't see my son, which I'm a little, feeling some type of way about. But I saw my daughter, and my daughter was older, and she has one child now. But in my dream, she had her child. The child she had was older. She had another little boy, and she had a little girl, and they were like babies. The little boy was like maybe 3. He's like a few months now, so he was like 3 years old. And the other one was like a little bitty, and it was kind of like, I don't know if the two babies, the boy and the girl, was toddler, like twins or what, because they were looking like they were around the same age, but they were babies, but not small babies. Kind of ones that can hold their own bottle, little shit like that. Maybe crawl, maybe try to walk. So I know that in the dream, she was not around her babies. Like she was at work or something, and once, and there was like I don't know, it was like this woman that was trying to, people that was loose cannonly running around and stuff, of because of how shit was falling apart. It was like she was trying to round up people to take them to a building, for safety, and check them for any health issues or something. Also, there was some type of exposure. I remember that, because they were also checking to see if you were exposed to something particular that had nothing to do with like, are you hurt? Did your arm get blew off? Can you walk? That type of shit. But something was something to be exposed to as well. And the thing is that she was trying to get everybody to go to this building or these buildings, and we were on our way. We had like I managed to get her dad popped up out of nowhere. I had got a hold to her kids, and somehow I ended up with her kids, and me and her wasn't talking, you know, but her dad came her dad came around, and he, and by this time we had her children, and we were trying to get to this building that this woman was trying to get everybody to. And shit, I'm sorry if this is hard for me to get out, because like I'm really trying to make sure that I don't miss nothing, because I have a tendency of speaking about stuff, and by the time I finish with it and done with it, I done left so much out. And I don't know if I want to leave. I don't want to leave anything out. But got to the kids, you know, got her on the phone and let her know I got your babies. And she was like, okay, and broke down crying, you know, because she knew her babies were okay. So it was like, we got to get to her now. So by the time we made it to this place to where it looked like it was like where the place where everybody was trying to go to for safety and stuff, that place was destroyed. The place was destroyed. And like when I say these spaceships and shit was zooming in on folks at this point, like they were not hiding no more. But you know, you just didn't know when and where they was gonna pop up, but they wasn't trying to hide. They were on some real shit. So by the time we got to this building or whatever this place was that was safety, it was like shit. It was blew up. And it was like I remember seeing a lot of people in a field, but they were sitting around in the field and they were checking them for, you know, if they were, what was wrong with them, and you know if they was exposed to something, and plus they was checking their body to see if they was in, you know, what kind of injuries they had. And I was looking at it like, why are y'all outside? Why are y'all not finding another building? Like, why are y'all like right in the open space with this shit? Because like ain't nobody hiding, you know. And so you know, we didn't stick around that spot because it was kind of like y'all kind of like not trying to get out of harm's way at all. So we ended up finding this house that was abandoned, but the lights was still on. The lights was still on and everything, and we went, and it was cold. I remember that too because it was something about making sure blankets was important. So it was cold. So this was like around maybe winter. It was not the right time to be going through this type of stuff. You know, I can tell you that the kids wasn't safe with that. The weather was terrible with the cold. It was just not the right time to be being in a position where shit was getting blown up, and then here come some type of weird ass UFO invasion. And to be honest with you, I don't know if this was UFOs or regular people because they so fucked up these days. It's hard to tell what's really going on. Real talk, real shit. Because I done had another dream about a spaceship landing, and when it opened up, real police officers was running out of it along with suited and booted alien-like creatures. But they had like a thing over their head that was different. But they all had on fucking police or op uniforms. So I don't trust shit these days when it come down to what they say because I honestly feel like they've been really keeping stuff so tied up and messed up for so long, like, and they leak it to expose it to make you comfortable enough to say, okay, well, it is what it is, and then you know before you look at it, we're fucked. I understand what Tupac was saying when he said they don't give a fuck about us, though. I can tell you that because the shit that I seen in this dream, like they don't. But I noticed that, like I say, it was something about motion, um, being still, because these ships, the way that they moved around was like they moved off a detection of your movement. Like that's when they struck. I don't know, like so when we went into that house, like I say, the lights was on, the TVs was on. Um, I remember laying my daughter and her kids in a back room. There was a sofa back there. It was kind of cozy and shit, and it was a TV. And I felt like to keep the babies from crying or whatnot. I also remember her breastfeeding and using the water from a lake, like something about putting because there was no place to store the milk, And so it was something about tying the milk to a rope or something and putting it in this water to keep it cool or keep it at a certain temperature. I remember that. But and this was on the way to that house. I don't even know if there's something that would work. You know. But shit in the house. She went to the back and laid down with the children, and the children was like climbing around her and stuff like that, you know. But they were being silent because they were looking at this TV. And she ended up dozing off, and they ended up dozing off with her because I remember that me and the ex-husband now, because he's not an ex-husband, of course, but we went to the front of the house because like while they were laying down and being still, we were looking around for certain things that we could use that was beneficial for us that we could utilize, especially blankets. Blankets was very important. So we were walking around looking for blankets. We were looking for certain stuff that was, you know, we can utilize. And I remember that it was like for some reason the TVs were blasting and we kept cutting them down. But it was something about you knew when these entities or these UFOs was around because it was something about the electricity would go off or something would be particular about how and it was also something that they exposed that they like as if they were the whatever this exposure was, it had a lot to do with them, and it had a lot to do with electricity or something about radioactive something. I can't get it out because I don't even talk like this. So excuse me if I don't sound like I know what I'm fucking talking about because I don't know how to explain it. Because it's not this is not some shit that I'm normally on. You feel me? So I'm not trying to sound like I know what this shit is because I really don't. But and I really hope y'all can hear me. Shit, you probably can't even hear me. But I mean, it's like she ended up dozing off, and I remember while we was in the front, like we was looking through certain stuff in the front of the house, I I seen it coming. I don't know, like for some reason I could see it before other people could see it. Because when I was like, there it go, they couldn't see it at first, but then eventually it would come into view to them. But I would always see it first. But that motherfucker, like a whole like the damn little UFO was moving around the house. It came up and moved around the house. The shit lit up the house. The living room lights lit on. It came on, and I was trying to hurry up and turn it back off, but they would come back on as if and it wasn't like it was just like the like uncontrollable lights. It was like the switch, the light switch would pop up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm turning it off like trying not to be here. I ain't trying to hide and shit. Why are you steady coming on in this bitch? Everybody Ike to me as long as it's going against me. So yeah. TV lit up, so we cut the TV off and I laid down in front of the TV. I mean not in front of the TV, but beside the TV because I was like, be still, be still. I laid down because it was like it was coming up and it had like a red, it was something red, like a red sensor. The sensor it was like on the tip of it, and that's what you could see because it was like it was looking through the window through using this sensor. Like it flew up to the window, and it just, you know, I low key explained this because to be honest, that's what kind of gave me the strength to say fuck it. I'm just gonna go ahead and speak about this, you know. But I actually woke up and made a phone call because me going back to sleep and coming right back into this shit kind of fucked me up a little bit. So once I got up for good, I went ahead and made a phone call and I got this, I kind of vented this out. And they brought to me, it was like, it sounded like you done been watching War of the Worlds. And I'm like, the War of the Worlds? It's like, yeah, I'm like, I don't know what that is. But they stayed quiet and let me finish what I was saying. And then it was like, from what you saying, it sounded like you done watched War of the Worlds. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I finally Googled it. And it's like, I saw a 2005 film. I think I might look into it today just to get an idea of if it makes sense of what I just dreamt. But I don't know. But basically what happened was is I dived in front of the window on the floor because I felt like if it was looking at the window through the window, as long as you were closer to the window, maybe, and you were being still, it wasn't going to detect you or, spot you. But my ex-husband just so happened to be in front of the window at across the room type shit. And he didn't see it at first. And but I was like, be still, be still. It was nothing about talking. The voice, our vocals did not cause a problem. It was movement. It was something about movement that was important, and you being still. Maybe I am dreaming about some shit that's in a movie. I don't know. I ain't never seen this shit before. But he dived on me. I was laying on my stomach on the floor to, being still. And for some reason, he decided that he wanted to dive on me. And it was almost like protection. And it hurt my back. And I woke up with my back still hurt. Like I literally still feel that shit hard. And it hurt really, like as if somebody crushed my back. You know what I'm saying? Because of the way he booped down on me. But I literally woke up with that pain this go around. The first time I woke up, I didn't feel this shit. Second time now, after that, yeah, I feel this shit. But that's really when I woke up. Now, I don't know if that was like a mothership, that thing that looked like a Chinese house. I'm really not sure why that was, but that was the very first thing that I saw as far as the UFOs or unidentified flying object, because it was flying around, but it was moving at a slow ass pace. It was floating more so than flying, had a float to it. And it was like 1 minute it was invisible, the next minute it are transparent, and the next minute it wasn't. And these other little motherfucking objects was not big like that, but they moved faster. They was like blink of an eye, pew pew type shit. And they stayed behind the clouds until they were ready to strike. And when they got ready to strike, they zoomed in. Like when I say zoomed in, I mean like they came in like that. They was zoomed in on whatever it was that they was finna destroy. They zoomed in on that shit. That shit all over the place. But yeah, it's too much weird shit going on in this world that for some reason people want us to just accept and not explain, not make it understandable to us. We just gotta accept the shit. And I honestly am at a point to where I ain't nothing I can really do about it. But it's kind of like, what the fuck do we do when you got people it's like, dude, we are not free. We've never been free. And I don't want to say that we're slaves. I don't know what it is, but what I can say is that we've never been free. And if I can feel it, and this ain't just because I'm speaking it now don't mean that I haven't been feeling this way. But if I can feel it, I'm pretty sure everybody else can feel this shit, that love they fucking freedom, you know, within them, their own personal self, but we are not free. And what type of place is this that we're in? Just saying, like, what kind of prison is this? As long as you're oblivious and just fall in place, get in line. Keep working, keep your head down, keep taking all the toxic energy, keep eating the toxic food, keep breathing the toxic air. What are they doing? Right? I mean, why are y'all going this far to control people? Because you got the money, or is it because you feel like you are you bullying? What are you doing? I don't know if I'm venting at this point because the dream is over with, but I just don't get it. And you know, I'm a person of understanding. I like things to make sense to me, and I know that this is something that I may have been born into, but that don't mean that it's acceptable. It's just like, damn, what do y'all want with us, to the point to where y'all gotta feel like y'all gotta control us? And who, I would like to know who really gave the, you know, people this authority. You got people that's throwing out shit in the sky that don't even know what they're doing, what they're releasing, and when they find out, they speaking up on it, and they going on deaf ears. But everybody breathe the shit, unless, just so, because if you think about it, if it's so dangerous to everybody, if everybody is the same when it come down to being human genetically, just saying, why are they doing it to themselves as well? Because everybody breathe the same fucking air, right? So if y'all are doing shit to destroy this type of shit, put it in the food, in the air, in the water, you know, everything that you gotta ingest to stay alive, healthy, and shit, and it's hurting. What's the difference? They say, ain't no, you know, everybody is supposed to be the same, right? Now, y'all know I don't feel that way. Y'all know I speak. That ain't how I feel about it. But everybody is the same, so they say. They want you to look at each other like one and the same. We all breathe the same air, eat the same food, drink the same water, walk on the same soil, blah, 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 the fuck, blah, blah. So why are you hurting yourself unless you're immune to something that we're not? The meat, I can't even fuck with it no more. You know, not only is it the fact that I can trust, you know, can't trust it because I don't know what's brought up in a lab versus brought up on a field, and it was already hard enough taking the shit that was brought up on the field because of how you was treating the animals and shit. But my body won't even keep this shit in its system. You know, it runs straight through me, and I would rather it get out my system if it don't mean no good than to change my system to the point to where I become something, you know, something become wrong with me. Next thing I know, here come a zombie walking down the street type shit. Because I done had dreams about that too. Right before they did that shit with Popeye's chicken sandwich and motherfucking Chick-fil-A, 3 days before that, I had a dream. 3 days before that, I had a dream that it was like a zombie thing over a fucking sandwich. I woke up and was talking to my kids about it. I was like, I don't know, but and then like 3 days later, everybody was going cuckoo over these fucking sandwiches, and I was like, damn, this shit on the internet and everything. I just dreamt this. I just dreamt this. Da-da-da-da-da, you know. All my dreams ain't really for 100% credited. Some shit is just clearing out my own thoughts. Some shit means something. And I want to know why they killing themselves if they killing us with the same shit. Cause this shit ain't healthy. Ain't none of the shit that they doing is healthy. So if y'all are just like us, how are you hurting yourself? If y'all breathe the same air, drink the same water, if y'all are just like us, y'all have to send y'all families out in this shit too. It ain't like, you know, oh, we safe, but our family, y'all got families. People have families that's out there stretched out all over the world that's probably in this shit. So if are y'all like adaptable to this, or are y'all like asymptomatic to it or some shit? Like, why the fuck y'all? How the fuck y'all paying people to do this shit, and it doesn't affect you, but it's affecting everyone else? And not trying to be funny, and and I'm gonna call it whether you like it or not, to people that's like me. How is it that y'all are comfortable still, eating this shit? I know that we talk about it, we make fun of it, we speak about it all the time, but how are we allowing them to keep doing this to us? When do we do something about it? Are we afraid? And I don't feel like I am. I got a big ass mouth, so I'm gonna speak up. But what can my mouth do? What can I do? Real shit. I can't do nothing. They gonna look at me and laugh. Who do we go to? Because we're not safe. We're distracted. I'm sad for people, man, when it come down to this. And for that being said, ain't no reason for me to say nothing no more, because I'm a little bit irritated with the way this place is, that we call this planet, because it's the planet. It ain't just America. They got a treaty. They made an agreement. We're just here for the fucking ride, and to be maneuvered how they want for their little shit show. They got control over every fucking thing, even what I'm doing right now. So if they don't want this message to go out, it won't. Because it's a shit show. And they hide behind closed doors because they know what they do. I'm up now. Let me go brush my teeth and shit. Sorry, people, because, like, for real, I ain't even did shit. The only thing I did, like I said, is took my damn do-rag off because I didn't want to look like Aunt Mama on her. I already be looking crazy. God be with us, because this shit is real. And when they thinking that Americans got it easy, do we really? Or are we just being hoodwinked or tricked or treated or maneuvered into their little plan, their scheme? while they sit back and have a bourbon and talk about how they gonna fuck us up next. We like big ass lab rats to these people. And they hide behind closed doors. I'm gonna get out of here, man, because I ain't gonna lie, it's low key pissing me off. It don't take much for me to get mad, so I've been keeping my shit right. So I'll holler at y'all later, man. Hopefully somebody got something out of this, and if you want to add to it, if you want to comment to it, you want to remix it, you know, to even help me understand some things about it. What is that? You can feel the vibration. It's just been weird, people. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, man. You know, fuck a like, subscribe. I don't even care about that right now. But if what I can say I care about is some type of insight. I understand what they doing. I know it's full of shit, but and I know I ain't the only one that feel like this. But it's like nobody. I ain't gonna say nobody, because people do talk about it. But when can we gather enough people to actually do something? At least try. You know, they form shit. They form societies. They form clubs. They form teams. They pair up and do this shit. But they don't want us to come together because, and that's the way that they do it. They use racism, which is an old ass trick in the book. Because we should know by now that it's deeper than that. Way deeper than that. They use, you know, our sexuality. They use, you know, they try to split up families. They fuck you up with the food. They fuck you up with your health. They do all of this to keep you coming back and needing them, to keep you distorted with each other. And if that don't work, they start all these other things like shit that they already had planned out to do, to, you know, draw another distraction of, here come a bomb and the kids turn up missing, or here come now y'all fucking with the weather and shit. It's just, damn, what's natural around here? You know what I'm saying? Other than us at this point. And shit, we're not even 100% natural because they're feeding us all this bullshit. Man, there was a point to where we couldn't even grow shit in our own, you know, on our own property without them trying to get a piece of that too. You got to be careful about what you invent or create, because they'll steal it from you. Because they're natural fucking thieves. And so while we in here, just saying off the record, while we doing these readings, because I am that reader. So when we doing these readings, talking about this person stealing from us, this person grave digging and da-da-da-da-da, who we really talking about? Are we really talking about another motherfucker that's just like us? Are we really talking about the ones who actually can do that shit and get away with it? Because it seemed like they steady stealing, steady taking, steady fucking it up, steady polluting. But then y'all want to talk about save the planet. Y'all want to talk about save the plastic when, bitch, y'all putting it in our food and shit. So what about us? Because y'all taking from the planet, but you're talking about saving the fucking planet. But you're taking the sources from the planet. Then you're using it to build these fucked up ass structures that you don't think nobody recognizes right in our face. I'm over it. Like, this is some bullshit. Like, how long is this shit gonna last? Like, when do you realize that we are on to the shit, that we see this shit, we talk about it? Are y'all gonna keep treating it like it's a conspiracy? This ain't no fucking conspiracy. This is our life. Fuck a conspiracy theory when we have to breathe and live and eat this shit and shit this shit out. Because, I mean, look, as long as I'm eating the wrong shit, my ass gonna keep on running this shit smooth out. I'm the type of person, my body rejects shit that doesn't feel, that's not good for it. My body rejects it. It doesn't, you know, take it in and I don't know. My body is sensitive. So my body will reject shit. And some people's bodies, just like, say for instance, how I was with weed, how I was with, even eating certain meats and shit. The way my body is, like it's a parasite. Like I even had a parasite that's 99% everybody can have, and it doesn't do anything to them. That shit fucked me up. I had to have it removed. So my body is different. It takes in, it's a different intake than a lot of people, so I can feel half this shit that other people just don't feel. And so when something don't sit right with my body, that shit run through. But what about the ones that it's accepting it? You know what I'm saying? It's not doing anything. Don't you think that shit backfire later on in life some kind of way? Don't you think maybe it's like say for instance the meats and shit that's going on? Okay, the way my I'll get sick and rejected, and I'll lose weight and go through my little motion for a minute, but I know what my body's doing. I know that my body's rejecting something that it shouldn't have had in it, that I may have thought was okay to take, safe to eat, some bullshit, safe to drink, simple as some fucking water. Some water. We should not be concerned about our fucking water. We already paying bills and shit that we shouldn't even be fucking paying. Keeping us in this fucked up ass system so your mind doesn't elevate as long as you worried about how you gonna get to the next thing. And then throwing all these brands and other shit out there. Look, I watched, what's that movie called? They Know. I watched that shit when I was a kid. And I knew back then. And then, when they speak about the billboards and shit, it's logos, sweetie. Even the Emerald tablets speak about the logos. And that's the tablets. This shit is right in our face. Then the latest, one of the latest movies that they throw out about this shit is They Clone Tyrone. Everybody rather just make a video about the conspiracy of the shit instead of pointing. Yeah, they doing this shit to us. Yeah, we get it. What the fuck can we do about it? Pointing it out ain't gonna do you no justice if you stuck with happening to deal with it. You still gotta eat. We still gotta take our kids to school because they got it formatted in a certain way to where we really kind of left without certain choices. We still got to do what they want us to fucking do. Right? Because they want to play our God. Forgetting that we actually have a God. Man, I'm gonna have a long talk with God today, cause this shit is I'm over it. I'm a little bitty ass person. I barely weigh 110 shit at this point. My weight come and go. Can't call yourself a vegan. Where? Like you can't because the food that you're eating is distorted so bad. Where's the nutrition to even say is helpful? It tastes like a tomato. Whatever. What type of shit are we living in? And why do we have to, be forced into this? Like, as long as we were born into it and we wasn't gonna never recognize this shit, we been seeing it. Motherfuckers just know ain't nothing they can really do about it. Well, can we or not? Or are we just made to look at it like we can't? It's just like them football players when they was refusing to, some of them was refusing to play. Instead, they took a knee. And they was getting in trouble for that shit. But shit, enough of them that took a knee, then what? Then what? Respect became everybody. You can't, if everybody came in on that same wave, What can you do against a unity? And I'm gonna say this shit again. This world moves off of harmony. Harmony. That's why they have to keep chaos. Because as long as it's under chaos, no frequency, the frequency is out of whack. And as long as the frequency out of whack, we're out of fucking whack. We're messed up too. So this world, it moves off of vibration. It's a vibrational energy, period. I've been seeing this shit since I was young. And I mean, it seems like people act so fucking stupid. They don't get it. Like, but y'all move every day off of music. It's like, and then the music that you choose to move off of, you wonder why the vibration's so fucked up, but they don't realize that they in this frequency that's it's y'all in a turned on a whole different station. The minute that everything you start to move into a better frequency, you going against their grain. They need you to stay in another fucked up ass channel, another frequency that's gonna benefit them, not us. I'm so ready for the truth to just hit the fan. I'm just tired of this shit. This is like boring, yo. I'm sick of this shit. It's old and it's ridiculous. It's like y'all ain't got another plan, a scheme, the schemes and plans y'all got. And it's like you can tell you're dealing with reptilian energy, regardless to if they. I don't care if these videos that show that shit is fake or not. That's irrelevant because look, I done came face to face with a police officer that changed they shit right in my face. Real talk. So I know what's real. And everybody ain't gonna see it. Everybody ain't meant to see it. Everybody gonna, it's kind of like, just like how dude went back into the Matrix because he missed his stake and shit like that. Everybody ain't ready to take on that type of energy and actually stick to the plan of going against it. Some people miss that shit and they want to go back. So, no, it ain't meant for everybody to see. But I knew that once I seen what I seen, I couldn't unsee that shit. And I can look at a person and can tell when they moving with certain energy. And then people wonder why I don't fuck with certain people, or or don't, I keep my ass a distance, or, such and such and such and such. And sometimes I have to sit back and try to, sometimes shit, I want to be wrong. I'm saying like that. Sometimes shit, I'm like, damn, man, it's too much. But it really is a fucked up world. And we really do. We ain't here alone, people. We ain't never been alone in this bitch. So because we come from another generation of natives that didn't look like, I mean, they may have looked a certain way like us, but shit evolve and change when it's taken or when it's destroyed or kept away. We were bigger, we were stronger, and we was damn sure smarter. It's just like Adam and Eve getting kicked out of paradise and then coming across the angel and then fearing the angel because the angel is so much bigger than they were on earth because they got kicked out of paradise. Just as an example. I'm not here to try to go against or above anybody's beliefs. I'm just using what I've learned over time and on this planet as examples. And as I do in my other messages and readings, I do the same thing. The things that I've learned over the time of me being here in this lifetime, I use it to try to help people understand certain things with detail. It's not because I'm sitting up here saying it's true or false. I just speak metaphorically, and I like making examples and stories to help that with that. So take it how you want. I'm not here to kiss nobody's ass for that, so to care, But shit, they say that before they left paradise, Adam and Eve left paradise. they were like giants. And the angels submitted to them, they were small to them. But when they came down to the earth and landed on this fucking planet or whatever the fuck, because the story is whatever. It's a lot of stories, man. But they became smaller. So when the angels came down to take care of them or to give them something or to talk to them, they feared them because they were afraid of their height. They were afraid of their glory. That was big to them. It was giant. And they was like, don't fear us, because shit, you used to be bigger than us. So we ain't what we still salute to you. So we're little to what's big now. But we used to be big to what's little. Shit has changed. And it's like instead of them, they can't never get big like we was. And when I say giants like that, I'm not necessarily talking about I mean, in that case, because it come in so many ways, and I ain't gonna even front, man. When I say the distortion is real, because there's some distortion on a lot of fucking stories here. You ain't gotta believe me. I don't give a fuck. I'm not here to try to make nobody believe me. I could not care less. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna say what needs to be said. And you gotta believe, if you don't think by now that they know how to distort stories, man, do you not know how many times they switch up history in schools? Ain't nothing in history that I learned is there now. Probably if it is, it's probably a little shit like the Christopher Columbus shit, which was fake. It was the African slave trade, which was probably halfway fake. Some of the shit that, they want you to know, they want to tell you to try to fuck you up anyway to throw you off track. So why wouldn't they change up stuff that's biblical? They can change up history. They've been doing it. Ain't biblical, ain't history, ain't that biblical shit too? So, and I really, all Nephilims, all half deities and half humans, they're not bad. And you got a lot, you got people that's got a structured mind to where it was programmed, because we was born into this shit. So it's normal. I understand. That's something that's easy for us to do. Is have our minds programmed to believe what we was brought up to believe. We was brought up to believe certain shit. So that's okay. Yeah. But shit, think. That's what the fuck you got a brain for. You know what I'm saying? Not to be confused by other people's shit and wrapped up in their stories. Like I say, you ain't even got to believe me. I'm not here to make you. But damn, think for yourself instead of what other people want to bring you up to think like. Just because you was raised in a certain house, you feel like this is what it is and it's nothing less. Baby, it's a big ass world out here. So if you only moving off of something that you learned in your house or learned in your church or learned growing up, you in for a rude ass awakening. I promise you. Everything is not what it seems. Everything is not what it's put out to be. I am a walking, talking testimony of it. I'm a walking witness, man. And I ain't got to prove shit to nobody, but I will if I have to. I mean, if I feel like I need to. But I don't owe nobody shit. I just don't mind telling you the truth. And my truth is, hell no. Everything is not what it seems. And really, to be honest with you, they didn't already prove to us by right in our face that they'll switch some shit up in a heartbeat. They don't mind lying to you. So when you got somebody that's sitting here randomly telling you something that's going against their grain, they gonna what? They gonna hurry up and try to call you fucked up. Something is wrong. Half the people that's probably put up in these mental ass places probably clever as hell. Very intuitive. They gotta keep you put the fuck away. It's another prison. That's just a prison for the special people, not the criminals. That's all. I hate this place. I will never, ever, ever, I don't give a fuck. I will never, ever, ever be comfortable on this planet. Period. And I don't care how people want to see me because they want to, because like they got it so fucked up now anyway. To where, you know, people like me, people that want to do things for the right reasons, we getting looked at fucked up for it. Period. Just period. We're getting looked at like we're wrong for trying to do things the right way. Do you know that people now accept so much bad in you that they don't even know what's good? The shit is crazy. So fuck them. I love standing out. I love being against their odds. I'm not for the shit. I don't want to blend in with that shit. I don't want to be in no position to where I feel like I gotta ride with the majority. Fuck y'all. Real talk. Y'all ain't shit to me. Y'all ain't shit to me. Getting on my damn nerves. I'm finna get out of here, y'all. Cause I'm just venting and shit. I just really wish that somebody would speak up. I really wish that I could sit with some other people and we can really discuss what's really good. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all find an interest in what I'm talking about, you want to link up and talk as a group, you know, we ain't gonna make no group chats or nothing. You know, the affirmation, the characters. You know. But if you want to link up and actually do a live, you know, share a live together, communicate, just talk about certain shit, you know, man, holla at your girl. I don't care if you don't have to be you don't have to have no subscribers. I don't care about stuff like that. I just care about other people that care about caring, you know, giving a real fuck instead of putting on the show. This shit is sick. And I'm over it. And I'm only one fucking voice. That's it. And I know it's other people I hear that feel like I do. I know this for a fact. But and they speak up. They do their research. They do their chin checking. They do their thing. But it's always we always standing alone with this shit. We always standing alone like we afraid to come together and actually do something together about it. And it's only so much we can, but it starts somewhere. It got to start somewhere. Somewhere. I'm just ready to get the ball fucking rolling. Instead of sitting here waiting on it, sitting here pretending like it's gonna be it's gonna change and it don't. It's just getting worse and worse. And at least if we know that the change is here, we can't do nothing about it. Like on their end, at least we can do is get together on our end to do something. Shit, I understand the Black Panther Party a little bit better because they didn't speak up that they hated them people. But why? Why? I might need to do a little bit more research into that because I ain't never really researched the Black Panther Party, but I just understood that it wasn't a secret, but they didn't fuck with everybody. Everybody couldn't be up in they circle, and they wasn't to fuck with. And I respect that. I mean, shit. Look at what the other societies doing. They can't be fucked with. I ain't down for that other shit like for fraternities and. Excuse me for saying it like this, people, but I think all that shit, I've always felt like all that shit has got some type of dark motion behind it. That's why I never, ever cared about, college fraternities, sororities, and stuff like that. I've always went the other way. Always. But I'm going to tell you something that I think is weird. When I say that I attract them, like, where the fuck y'all coming from? Like, I draw these type of energies to me. And they be like looking at me. Some of them look at me by the things I say like I shouldn't be saying that. No, bitch. You shouldn't be saying that. You're the one who took that oath. I ain't took shit. Fuck you and them. I'm going to get up out of here, man. I'm going to go fix me something to eat. Go on with my life. Brush my teeth.